morning, guys and gals. Happy Wednesday to you. I hope everybody's healthy, wealthy, and wise on your end. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about credit card payments and credit card interest yet again. Specifically, how do we figure out how long it'll take us if we pay the monthly minimums, and how much interest does a credit card charge us for that? Just to give you some real world, sort of thoughts on how they make their money and how they take advantage of young people. It's actually only one example in our notes and then 2 questions for homework, so it's pretty straightforward. You definitely want to be watching this video as you do the homework, like go back and forth, and you know me, like it's going to match up pretty closely. The metaphor, the elephant in the room, and for you seniors, and I know there's a junior or 2 in the class, this is actually our last lesson. So it kind of hurts a little bit for me to say that, because I've never had to let a graduating class go like this. I wish you guys nothing but the best. I'm so sorry I can't be there to, celebrate with you. Stay positive. The world doesn't need more negativity. And I hope you got something from our class, because I love teaching it. I love hanging out with you guys. I miss you. So this is a little tough one for me to get through. But let's do this thing. Hey, as always, please pause the video, grab yourself a pencil, paper, follow along, okay? The same formula as yesterday that we're going to use for our monthly credit card payments, okay? But we'll apply it a little differently. You charged $1,100 on a credit card for a new iPhone. The card averaged 24% interest compounded monthly. You decided to only pay the minimum payment of $35 each month. How long will it take you to pay off the iPhone? How much interest will you pay? Hey, this is going to be some pretty intense mathematics, but like I said, it's only one problem here in our notes. I'm going to fill in everything that I know so far. I know that I started with $1,100. I know my rate was 24% compounded monthly, which is where the 12 comes from. According to my formula, this is going to look like 1 minus, and in parentheses, 1 plus my rate over compounded, which was 12, to the negative compounded 12 times time. Okay, this is some pretty intense mathematics. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to simplify ever so quickly, because it will help us. For instance, $1,100 times our 24% divided by 12. Okay, so that means my numerator is going to simplify to $22. Okay. My denominator, I can only simplify so much, but I'll do what I can. So it's 1 minus, 1 plus 0.24 divided by 12, that's the same as 0.02 to the negative 12t power. Okay. Now this is where it really gets bananas, because we haven't seen this before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the minimum payment of $35. That goes over here, because that's my monthly. Okay. Now remember, the eye on the prize is we want to solve for t. This is going to be really tricky. Just follow along, and the end will look very similar to how you'll type it into your calculator for your homework. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to multiply both sides by my denominator. So I'm multiplying both sides by 1 minus 1.02 to the negative 12t power. When we do that, those cancel. We're left with, and I'm jumping over here, 1 minus 1.02 to the negative 12t power times 35 equals 22. Okay, sorry about the bad equal sign. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 35. So this will look like 1 minus 1.02 to the negative 12t power equals 22/35. You're saying, Mister, where did you get that from? 22 divided by 35. And I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. Okay, keeping in mind we want to solve for t, eye on the prize. So that leaves us with negative 1.02 to the negative 12t power equals negative 13/35. 22/35 minus 1, that's where I got that from. Then I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 1. Okay, this looks like 0.02 to the negative 12t power equals 13/35. Okay, I'm going to take the natural log of both sides. And I know your head's starting to spin. I get that. I'm not mad at you. Okay. The reason we do that, and you'll have to forgive me, I'm running out of space, so I'll jump down here. The reason we do that is our exponents come down in front. So negative 12 times t times the natural log of 1.02 equals the natural log of 13/35. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 12 times the natural log of 1.02. And when I do that, I'm going to figure out how long it's going to take to pay all this off. That will give me t. The question is, how in the world do you type that in? Don't worry, I got your back like Kyra Pratt. Hit all clear, turn your cell phone sideways. We're actually going to start with the 13 divided by 35. 13 divided by 35 equals, boom. Okay, so that's my fraction in decimal form. I'm going to take the natural log of that. We get a negative. It's supposed to be that way. Don't panic. Then we'll divide that by the quantity. So we have to use the quantity, 12, but it was negative 12, boom, times, and then it was the natural log of 1.02. So I hit the natural log. I have to close my parentheses. And once again, we get a negative, but that's all right. A negative divided by a negative gives me 4.17 years is how long it's going to take to pay this thing off. Okay. You might say, well, that's great, mister, but I don't want to pay an iPhone for 4.17 years. I wouldn't either. Don't pay the minimum, folks. The credit card companies try to trick you. They try to let you think that, you're better off. You're not. You end up paying things for a much longer time. Not only a much longer time, but for a lot more money. For instance, this is years. Well, how many months is that? So I'm going to take that and multiply that by 12. Okay, so it's about 50 months you're going to be making payments. And how much were we paying each month? Well, we were paying $35 each month. That iPhone is going to cost you $1,750.47. That means in interest, if you take that $1,750 and you subtract what it originally cost, in interest alone, you're going to be paying $650.47 just in interest for that phone. It's half the price of the phone. That's unbelievable. Guys and gals, please don't ever pay the minimums on your credit card. All right. Yeah, so that's our last lesson. I know it was a whopper, but I wish you guys and gals nothing but the best. Show 2020 that you are way more than the graduating class of some ridiculous virus. Let them know that you're here to flip the script and show them what's up. I love you. Be good. Peace.